This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Let's get right into the news for the day, and make sure you smash that like button. Make sure it turns blue. And if you want to run ads in the channel, it's jordantowermedia@gmail.com, or just hit me up on Instagram. Let's get right into it. Instagram is JordanTowerJTF. Okay, so we got Tory Lanez. Now, it says that he texted an apology to Meg the Stallion, saying like, oh, I was just too twisted last night, blase blah, I know you'll never talk to me again. And TMZ claims that they saw this text message. How did you see this text message? Did Meg come to the studio and show it to you? Like, I don't get how this works. Like, you know, it's like, did you hack into her phone? What's going on? What is going on, okay? Because it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it just keeps on going, this Meg and Tory thing. It's like, there's no charges against Tory. Did this even happen? Like, what's going on? You know, what is going on here? Because if this happened, there would be charges against him brought by the assistant district attorney, or ADA. Yeah, that's what it is, right? And then it says, I'm just as lost as you guys. This is a weird situation. Let's just leave it at that, because it's like, I'm getting sick of them keeping this story going, saying, oh, we got more evidence, guys. Meg should just go sit down with the ADA at this point. I mean, she's already done a live. She's already showing text messages to TMZ, allegedly. I'm good on this story, you know? I don't know what's going on anymore, you know? Then we got, and if Tory's wrong, he's wrong, but like, do something about it now. You've done everything but go to the ADA at this point, you know. So Joe Budden's accused of more things in this paperwork. We don't know if this paperwork's real or not, between Sin and him going to court over their child. Honestly, it could be real, because like, some women will do whatever to get their, you know, full custody of their child and have more control. Which is, I understand in one sense, in another sense I don't, you know, because it's important to have the father in the family. But, you know, she was on live last night talking about, well, this is my life. We're entitled to our privacy in this. You're not, when you go on, it's called selling out when you go on these reality shows, and it's cool. You can sell out. And it's almost, you're selling your soul, you're selling out your privacy, you're selling out yourself. Anything that was deemed private before is over. It's different than becoming famous for something because you're talented. No, you're being famous now, right? You become famous for sharing your life on reality television. Now, if it's not reality television, let us know. But it is. It's scripted in a way, but it's still reality. It's public, man. So you have no privacy. If you want privacy, pull out of the show. I also saw Joe Budden didn't really address it on his podcast. I kind of skimmed through it. I heard them talking about unionizing. Well, there's a lot of negative things to unions, okay? I see a lot of podcast networks doing this, and it's like, I mean, unless you guys are employees of Spotify at that point, that's different, right? Then I guess everyone at Spotify could start a union. But like, all you're gonna do is, when you go on strike, your competition's gonna come in and take you out. That's what's gonna happen. This isn't gonna work. It works at places like General Motors and stuff, and people that work for big companies, because they all walk out and nothing gets made. When you go on strike, your competition's still working and you're done. Plus, do you realize it's not free to be in a union? You got to pay dues, okay? And you're required to make dues, and it always ends up being corrupt, because someone heads up the union, they get all that money, and what does money do to most people? It corrupts them, okay? And then the very network you're working for, you know, say it's Spotify, you have a contract with them, and they go under because, yeah, they're not making as much money. So now they're done, right? No bailouts, and you don't have a job, but you still got a contract. It's not good to unionize. There's a reason why unionizing never happened in entertainment. It's just almost impossible. You're not an individual, you're a collective. There's so many negatives. Just Google it. There's plenty of disadvantages. Now, of course, there's plenty of positive sides for people that work under them, but it's not a good idea. And this is why Spotify's stock is plummeting. This is why General Motors and other companies aren't the leaders in the auto industry anymore, okay? There was a time when this was needed because there weren't laws protecting workers. There's lots of laws protecting workers now. But back in the day, there weren't. And they needed these unions for safety purposes. You used to have to go in 115-degree weather and pass out. And that's called, I forget what it's called, but it's definitely against the law now. There's a law against that. Back in the day, there wasn't. You just got fired. So they had to start unions. Now, they don't need them because there's laws protecting workers. Now, you can't cry over a lot of these people that Joe's what you call he's work for hire. He has a contract with Spotify. You're a contractor at that point. You don't work for Spotify. You're a contractor. So you can leave. And he should leave, and he should do his own podcast network. That's all you got to do. That's what Charlamagne did. Charlamagne just launched his own podcast network with iHeartMedia. Now what they say, what was the headline? Charlamagne brings the first black curated podcast network to iHeartMedia this fall. That's not true. Combat Jack, and I'm not going to blame Charlamagne for that. Combat Jack podcast network. I forget what it was called. I'll tell you right now. Okay. He had his own loudspeaker network. That's what it was called. Loudspeakers Network. And that was the first one. Okay. And, everyone always salutes him as a pioneer in the podcast industry. So I'm sure that Charlamagne didn't want it titled that way. But this is going to... to me, with Charlamagne, I see where he's going with this. It's going to be like a BLM podcast, which is, okay. But I think that Charlamagne, not only Charlamagne, this doesn't just go for black people, it goes for white people, Chinese people, everybody. Once you start labeling everything with race, I think it's very divisive. I think that certain things need to be highlighted where people are being mistreated, like with the police, and there needs to be reform. But if you label everything with race, it divides us when we should all be together. I mean, for the past 20, I would say the early part of my life felt more together than it is today. And I blame politics for that. I blame the last 12 years of politics on dividing us as a people. Because you know what? Politicians like us divided. It's easier for their voting. Just remember that, and always, you might disagree with me, but just know this. I'm for you and me, whatever color you are, to be more together than divided by the color of our skin, which is ridiculous, okay? You should only judge people on character. So I mean something positive with this talk, not negative. Just know that, okay? Anyways, 50 Cent, he's using different ways to promote now. He gives out 50 or 30,000 to Burger King workers with this other guy that does this normally. Who knows how this guy has 30 grand, not 50 Cent, the other guy that's with him, 30 grand to hand out to people all the time. But hey, good for the workers getting the money. I mean, they work hard. That's a hard job. Service. Horrible. But because you're dealing with so many attitudes and people that don't treat you right. I hate it when I see somebody yelling at somebody that works at like any kind of service job, McDonald's, Applebee's, or this person has a hard job, man. They gotta go make the food, deliver the food, deal with you mouthing off to them. I mean, it's like, come on, man. There's always a way to deal with something, unless the person's just like throwing the food in your face. I mean, it's different, but like, if it's just something you disagree with, just talk to them. I don't know. It's like you never know what somebody's going through. People got a lot of issues. We all do. And sometimes we have bad days, man, you know. Then we got 50 Cent reacted to, you know, the whole Dr. Dre thing that's going on. Dr. Dre's wife wants 21-hour deposition. 50 Cent says 24-hour deposition, and OJ is out. Wait, let me think. And then he uses it to promote stars. I mean, for some reason, I wasn't interested in checking out Power Book 2. I'll check it out this week, so I can't even react to it. So if you guys saw it, let me know in the comments, like, did you like it or not? Because I didn't feel a draw to watch it, you know? But, you know, I got to give it a chance. You got to give everything a chance. Then, lastly, DJ Paul reacts to Suicide Boys, who used to be under him, taking his copyright, basically. They want $6.4 million. Paul claims that they stole our act. They stole everything about us. You know, I'm a fan of those guys. I love them, man. And I love their music. But where it got me is, you want to tick me off. You play with my brother, Infamous. My Lord Infamous passed away, and then, you know, so basically Lord Infamous passes away. One of those dudes calls himself the Scarecrow, which is, everybody knows Lord Infamous is the Scarecrow. That's his name. So they're basically emulating 3 6 Mafia. Huh. They refused to tour with Seated 6, which is under DJ Paul. So these guys are just like trying to recreate 3 6 Mafia sound and names and everything without paying them or anything. Just, hey, they never existed. That's wrong. Anyway, sorry to make this so long. This is Jordan Tower JT News. I just wanted to give you a good long video covering all the little stuff and just my thoughts on some things for the first video of the day. As you know, I drop many videos during the day. So I'll catch you guys in about an hour and a half. I appreciate you guys. And again, I love you, and we're together. And keep trying your hardest out there. We'll get back to some motivation this week, over the weekend. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys are doing great today. Stay positive. Keep negative energy away from you, always, okay? It could be your own family if it's negative. Just keep them away and keep moving forward. I'll check you guys in the next one. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't. And if you want to run ads in the channel, it's jordantowermedia@gmail.com. Or you can hit me up on Instagram, JordanTowerJTF. Peace.